What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Our Perspectives. My name is Holden Stephan Roy. We have Littyyy Bro Flacko over here, and we are going to go through another fun week of topics. Some of them may be similar to what we've been going through, but week after week, things evolve, and we've got to keep you updated and informed with our opinions on each and everything that's happening that we think is interesting to share. And if you guys want to see us cover some stuff, make sure to leave some comments and let us know what you think along the way. If you support what we do, you can hit us up over on the patreon.com/perspectives. You can subscribe, like all that good stuff. And before we get into it, we like to start the show off kind of recapping our week. So Flacco, what have you been up to?
Oh man, busy as fuck. Let's see. Right. I already talked about going to the Poconos last weekend. Then Philly. I went to Philly on Thursday. Went to Philly on Thursday. Oh, I slept through that earthquake on Saturday
Was it earthquake?
or Friday. There was an earthquake in New York City
I did not
on
know.
either Thursday or Friday. So it wasn't like I just slept through the eclipse. I slept through the eclipse and I slept through an earthquake.
That's fair.
The wife was just laughing about the fact that like the day that the apocalypse comes, it's gonna be like, what were you? And I'm gonna be like, oh, I slept through it. Um,
It's a useful skill, though, if you can sleep through the apocalypse.
yeah, yo, my amount of fucks given is pretty low when I really don't give a fuck. Like when I really don't give a fuck, it's like, oh, I really don't give a fuck.
That's fair. So I take it you did not care about the eclipse today.
Definitely did not. There was too many people in my timeline talking about like all this shit that it was just like, bro, it was either people were conspiracy theorizing that the government is like making this seem evil when really it's like you get your powers, or it was fucking the government is doing this. It's just crazy. It's just too much. It's a fucking eclipse. Like, I'm mad we've gotten to a point in society where we're so dumb again that we are back to where people were in the BCs, where they would see an eclipse and be like, oh, do you know what this means? The gods are coming for us. Ah! Like, what? Calm down. We have science now. We don't have to be this dumb. But people gave away science. They were like, I don't want any vaccines. I want my children to have the measles and die from it. And the earth is flat. And we never been to the moon. And eclipses are the end of the world. Where it's just like,
I
wow,
did. I
man.
did see a couple of those end of the
People
road
really
ones.
regressed. Humanity is regressing like a motherfucker. Literally feels like idiocracy. Like people are just really dumb right now.
It did feel pretty
Um,
ridiculous because, you get these little eclipse glasses that are flimsy pieces of like cardboard with some plastic on them, and then we all stared at the sun through the dark plastic, and then we all went back inside, and this was like a big deal. Like people took work off. All the schools were closed today. I don't know if the schools were closed in New York, but they was all closed in Montreal. Like they wanted to make sure that people could pull up, go to the park, and watch the sun. And then hustlers made some real money selling glasses, is all I can say. Homie hit me up and was like, yo, we got the album on the Eclipse glasses. So if you buy the Eclipse glasses, you get 10 tracks. And I was like, that's a hustle. Technically, if you put a QR code on the glasses, they count as unit sales in the way that RCAA calculates it. And like there's a way to link your Eclipse glasses to album sales.
not mad at them. Yeah, I did not give no fucks.
It was nice
Definitely
though.
was not caring about this little thing.
That's fair. What was Philly
I
fun?
don't know. Oh yeah, I went to Philly. I went to support Iron Solomon's event. He's doing a brand called Crate Diggers. He partnered with Lapstone and Hammer, and used his brand Corner Store. And so they've been doing this collaboration called Crate Diggers, and it's basically like comes in a box similar to this. Actually, I have a perfect example right here, so I can show people what it looks like. Uh, Comes kind of like this nice NEMS box. It's like a literal box. Uh,
Mm,
Literal box that he did. He did for the collaboration with NEMS.
right.
You see Corner Store. But this isn't the way that the box looks for the Crate Diggers. This is just an example of the way that the box looks. And so you open this box, and it'll have like a hat, a T-shirt, stickers in it, and uh, he did a box like that with Crate Diggers, but it's like per city. So like they already had did a collaboration for New York, and so like the box looks like a box of 45 records, um, and they're all New York records, like classic New York records. And so he did a collaboration with Lapstone and Hammer and Crate Diggers out in Philly, and Lapstone and Hammer is a Philly store and brand that does like exclusive stuff. It's kind of like Bodega in Boston, where like they have all this like exclusive gear that you can buy, whether it be like Comme des Garçons or like Nike collabs, special edition Wallabies, stuff like that. But then you can also get like the store made brand. And so it was Philly. The hat was Crate Diggers, and it's like Philly colors, the Philadelphia Phillies colors, so like almost a maroonish red, um, and it's a hat, and then the box comes with all Philadelphia records, and it was a really cool collaboration. I clearly supported. I bought the sweatsuit, which is like the hoodie and the sweatpants. Oh,
We can't see this. You turn into a
you
ghost.
can't see. I turned
There we
into a
go.
ghost.
Sort of see them.
There we go. There we go. There we go. This is the corner store brand logo. Lapstone and Hammer LH.
Right.
Okay. Lapstone and Hammer LH. And then the 45 for Crate Diggers. But yeah, so I bought the sweatsuit in support of the brand. I bought this other fly ass jacket that I'll wear one day on the show. Um, just showed support. Uh, yeah, it was a good time. Saw a lot of like my peers. Um, it's always nice to be recognized. Oh, Dutch Vega, Dutch Vega. Oh, some guy was like, uh, I remember like watching the grind time battles, and like I know who you are. He was like, wait a minute, don't tell me Dutch Vega. It's like, well, you must have had that cocked ready to go. But it was a pleasant night. It was a good night. Shouts to everybody that I met. Shouts to EST Knack, and John Ladon was in the building. Jay Black from Champion of the Year. Well, I don't know if they're URL. They're not URL, but they just collaborate with URL a lot. But yeah, there were a lot of people in the building. Um, Gambling Huff's son was in the building. It was just a lot of people in the building there to support. It was a good time. Um, then I got back Friday, and I believe Friday was the day that was the earthquake. I wish the other New Yorkers were here to give their take. But yeah, there was an earthquake in New York, and then there was tremor. It's crazy because there was an earthquake, and I slept through that, and then the day goes on, and I went and I took a nap, and I slept through the aftershock. So I slept through the earthquake, I slept through the aftershock, I slept through the eclipse. The world is not ending, folks. Like you guys got to get your anxiety under control. You know what I mean?
I
uh,
mean, I saw a couple of people. I saw one person post online about They were convinced that there would be like a solar ray of some kind that was going to like tear through fucking North America. They even posted a map where like the Saint Lawrence River was now all the way down to like Cali. It was fucking something else. I didn't comment on it, but I lurked, and somebody asked that person dead ass, "What if you're wrong?" And they admitted that, like, okay, fine, if I'm wrong, I might just go off Facebook for a while and go touch grass because I'm a little out there. Then they posted earlier today, like, a backtrack along the lines of maybe no one's gonna die today over this. On the other hand, I saw at least a couple of people post, I stared at the sun without the glasses and now my eyes hurt. And I am curious how many people are gonna go blind over Donald Trump in this situation. That's my question. Because, like, even with the glasses, I felt like a mild irritation after, and I was like, this is a stupid activity, and maybe we shouldn't stare at the sun. All things considered. Don't know. It wasn't that bad, but, you know, like, it was beautiful, it was nice, but you probably shouldn't stare at this shit with no eclipse glasses, despite how stupid eclipse glasses are in principle, because you can't see shit through them except the sun.
I mean,
Yeah.
right. I'll take your word for it that it was nice.
No, honestly, like,
I'm pretty sure the pictures will do it justice. You know what I mean?
the thing is it's more of the experience, right? Because the pictures look cool, and like
Hmm.
the problem is that it's really hard to shoot because your camera's got to
Hmm.
shoot it through the fucking eclipse glasses, making it
Hmm.
just like harder. And then either way, it was just the whole like watching the world get dark and get cold and then like heat up again, and like all in the span of like 15 minutes is like some surreal shit where I thought about the people like 4,000 years ago, and I thought it was funny that you brought them up and how many of us are behaving like them, because, yeah, it must have been quite the vibe when you had no science and then the world just got dark in the middle of the afternoon on a random Tuesday for no reason, and you had no warning because there was no science. And then we've had all the warning, and then everyone just
And
agreed
people
to
still
believe.
act crazy.
Doesn't make no sense, but
Refuse to believe the science. Refuse to believe the science. They just want to
and then
believe the shit that they see online with no like backing behind it.
what I would
But
love
you
to
saw it
know is
online.
how
It's
the
got to be
flat
true.
earthers explain this shit. Because the flat
Oh, one of my
earthers,
friends was talking about it. He was saying how they're talking about oh, the NASA made this giant telescope or something so that like they can like eclipse the whole world. And I'm like, well, first off, that's where you fucked up at right there, because this eclipse isn't a global thing. Like people don't seem to understand the way that the world works, right? So when the sun's on one side of the earth, it's not on the other, and the moon is on that side. And so there wouldn't be sun where we're seeing sun. So you're not, you know what? I'm not even going to bother, because why? What's the point, right?
if you are a
The
flat
point
earther,
is
though, definitely put that in the comments.
there
I
are
want to
no
know.
there are no it was not a global eclipse.
No.
Flat earthers.
And Lindell's saying it's like W2K, but I think he means Y2K all over again. And
Yes.
yeah, it's basically like that. Or like the 2012 Mayan calendar situation where
Right.
we also
Right.
got
Right.
through
Right.
that pretty good. But yeah,
Right.
no, that
Right.
was
Right.
fun.
Right. Right.
I did like the eclipse, and I honestly thought it would be really stupid until it happened, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I saw this, and I don't have to wait 20 years to find out if it's good or bad. Because that's the other part. Is if you overhear, it's 20 years to find out. That's it. It's over now. But yeah, did you do anything else this week or?
Then this weekend, I went out. I did not get to celebrate with Mel. I was curious how her birthday must have went spectacularly. She's not here, and that means more than likely it went so spectacular that, yeah, she is still recovering from the weekend. Um,
Yeah.
but I went out, hung out with the bar gang, watched a lot of zombie movies this weekend. Started watching one. I wanted to watch Train to Busan, the like trilogy of movies, and I did, and then it was like, oh, let's turn it into a whole zombie night weekend. By the time I was ready to go to sleep last night, I was like, man, what the fuck? Why am I getting paranoid about the end of the world?
You knew the eclipse was coming.
Crazy. Mm, yeah, I slept through it. Yeah, that was it pretty much. What about you?
Um, it was a good week. I got myself the equipment to make little pendants with these shit I bought off this website as I slowly get my little inventory on. And every week, this Sticker Mule site just has deals that make it like it's basically like you're paying volume pricing. Like if you were getting several thousand units, you're getting like that kind of pricing, but at whatever fucking one item they offer you. And so I'm like, you know what? I got a bunch of shit. Let's just start stocking up. And then it's dope because it all fits in a backpack. Like you don't have to deal with like duffel bags and all the shit that comes with boxes for hoodies and like all that crap. It's like one backpack can hold something like $2,000 worth of fucking raw merchandise items. I'm like, I did a lot of this backwards. This is how I'm gonna approach this for now. Make my life fucking easier and not have to iron nothing. But otherwise, grinded it out a bit with the Ubers. Went to a board meeting and started planning some shit because I'm part of this not-for-profit. So I'm launching a program. Well, I say I, but we, but like I'm launching this program that's like a Skillshare kind of thing where we're taking people such as the homie Merker Miyagi and we're going to have them come and just teach people like how to make beats in his case, how to make and sell beats. And so that's what the program is. It's like once a month. It's like a fundraiser for the not-for-profit so we can pay rent. And, you know, I had to really work on the logistics for that, which took a bit of time. Plus the board meeting because, well, when you join a board of directors, you're going to end up with board meetings. And they're not terrible, but they're not like what you want to ever be doing. Like it's not, except for the people that love it, it's not really your favorite part. But, then we went to Ontario to visit Bonnie's mom for Easter a week late because she was in Mexico for Easter celebrations. This is where we got our eclipse glasses because we get little gifty baskets at Easter time. And after that, went to this pretty great restaurant called Oorja. It's spelled Oorja. If you're in Montreal, they're pretty great at what they do. Everything was super tasty and well cooked and like interesting flavors. It's Indo-Chinese cuisine. I fucked with it pretty heavy. They were pretty good at what they did. And it was fun filming that video. Then a bunch of Uber. Then, yeah, yesterday was just like chilling and getting shit ready, organizing and sleeping because when I'm up till 4 in the morning driving around, it's like partying in terms of that you sleep the next day and crash, but it's not like partying except because you're not drinking and having fun. You're just driving people around, but you still feel all fucked up the next day because going to bed at like 4 or 5 in the morning takes its toll. And then yeah, you know, just kind of chores and shit. Been writing every day, keeping that up. So
yeah. Oh, right. You mean blog writing?
Yeah, I moved on to Substack, and then I started writing extra shit on Quora because Quora's got crazy views. Like, if you want to go viral, if you want to get thousands of views on some shit without any effort, and because that's what's really important to you, go on Quora and answer questions about random shit, and I promise you, you'll wake up to 2,000 views out of nowhere. It'll just happen.
I believe it. I mean, Quora's like, uh, when they do these things on there's these videos on GQ of like famous people going undercover on social media, and they go undercover on like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and then always it's like Quora, and always the question is like, why Quora? What the fuck? Like, what? Well, yeah, there's a lot of people on Quora
asking
questions.
It's a 9-figure user count, and it's like if you like writing it's a place to go to practice writing. That's better than having your own blog, because what the problem, so like in a like basically what I've learned is that owning your own website is cool if you're popular, otherwise it's kind of trash. And what you're trying to do is go right where people are, so that algorithms will put you in front of people. It's like being on TikTok to promote your music, or versus not being on TikTok. Like, you can do it, but if you do it right on TikTok, you're gonna have a much wider reach of people at a much cheaper price point. So it's like a site like Quora is basically like the TikTok for writers. But yeah.
But
So I just been doing a lot of that, trying to move shit forward, and yeah, it's been all right. It's been a good grind. Oh, and I got a new song coming May 10th. So I set up the release for that and started dropping promotional videos. So you're going to see a lot of content from me dropping on the socials related to that, and then a bunch of Lloyd Bank shit dropping soon thereafter, and I'm going to flood the fuck out of social media content. Then I'm going to delete it all, because why am I going to keep all this shit up once it's time? I'll keep like the top performing shit and delete everything that's like, not getting views. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically my week and all that good shit.
work.
So I guess we can get into it then.
Let's get into it. Let's get started on this week's worth of news. The big news today, which is on everybody's timeline, is, well, actually, you know what? Let's start with the back info, which is J.Cole released a diss song on, I believe that was like Thursday or
It was
Friday.
like the Friday. It was like a part of the Friday album drops.
Yeah, it was part of the Friday album drops. He dropped the album called Might Delete Later. He had a song on there called 7 Minute Drill, even though it was 3.5 minutes. Um,
Yep.
yeah, so in the song, he disses Kendrick. Uh, he opens it up with, I came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons. The Simpsons didn't, they're still on TV.
I mean, arguably they fell off culturally relevance wise. I mean, I get what he's
Mm.
saying. They
Your
don't pull
first shit
numbers
was
like they used to.
Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind. I just now hit mine. Now I'm in front of the line with a comfortable lead. How ironic, as soon as I got it, now he wants something with me. He keeps going. That beginning part is like, a lot of people are like mentioning how, like, oh, he stole from Jay-Z. I'm like, he didn't steal. It's the same thing that Jay-Z does. It's called like an homage to somebody, referencing somebody else's angle that somebody else already took. Um, so like, not Jay-Z said this. Your first shit was like, not the first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic, but that's a one hot album every 10-year average, and that's so lame. Which is a reference to a white rock song. I didn't know that until like some hip hop DJ played it. I was like, oh, this is like a white song.
Yeah.
Fing. I was like, oh wow, what do you know? Because I don't know white music at all. Uh, and so yeah, it was just a reference. It was an angle that Jay-Z took against Nas in their beef. I don't know.
I mean,
A lot of people said that J. Cole kicked his ass on there. A lot of people were like, yo, this is what we were waiting for. Um, for me, it was like, I saw one of the homies, shouts out to Stephen Padley, on Facebook, talking about how dare the guy with album about folding clothes talk about anything is putting anybody to sleep, which is like a valid point. It's something I've always said. To me, they're both boring guys. Like Kendrick and J.Cole represent everything that I dislike about hip hop. Um, Everything. It's like it reminds me of Tribe Called Quest. And like I tell people all the time when people are like, "Yeah, fucking Tribe is amazing." I'm like, no, they weren't. In the Bronx, in the part of the Bronx in New York City where I grew up in, that shit is corny. And like consciousness, like that fake conscious shit is corny. And that energy of like, oh, like, hey bro, peace and shit. Is like, yo, get that dashiki nerd rap the fuck out of here. Get that granola white people approved fucking hip hop the fuck out of my face. That shit's corny. I'll fucking stab you in your brain with your nose bone, bro. Like this shit is not like I'm not here for the fucking folding clothes. The thing that annoys me the most about Kendrick and Cole is their constant persistence in having survivor's remorse for making it out the hood while everybody in the neighborhood is the homies are still broke back home. And I'm just like, that's bitch ass bullshit, bro. Like, go get your homies out of the hood. Stop crying about it on records. Like, what are you doing? Like, that is the most bitch ass shit I've ever heard of. I respect the guys that go broke having 100 people with them on tour more than I respect Kendrick and Cole not going broke, but then crying on every fucking album about all their homies back in the Ville, back in Compton, that just are stuck in the system. And it's like, but you made it. You can help them literally right now. You could just get off the mic, call your friend, and get them out the hood. But somehow this eludes them. Bitch ass nigga behavior never surprises me. It just shocks me. I don't respect Kendrick. I don't respect Cole. They're both annoying. I needed to say this because it's been weighing so heavy on me. So many people are like, oh my God, they're so annoying, yo. So annoying. And everything that they represent is exactly that. Tribe Called Quest shit. Tribe Called Quest didn't blow up in New York City. It was white people that needed safe rap to feel cool about rap and to say, no, this is the real hip hop. This is the good stuff. Not the songs where the guys are shooting it up, because I can't relate to that. So that can't be real hip hop, because I'm the approver and disapprover of what is or isn't real hip hop. And let me tell you something. Real hip hop is, you know what I mean? So like, and J. Cole and Kendrick are exactly that. J. Cole and Kendrick are that. MF Doom is that. J Dilla is that.
Understood.
It gets tiring. Yeah, you are hearing that preach. I came up in the hood in the Bronx. But right, like I always say, I'm like, well, I'm from the borough that birthed this whole culture. In the era where it was cooking at its heaviest, right? Because if we just celebrated the 50th anniversary last year, it was just 7 years old when I was born, mere 7 years old. And I came up in the middle of all that. And my area of the Bronx, the North Bronx, was very heavily like, get that dashiki nerd rap the fuck up out of here. Like that doesn't represent us. That represents a different contingency of people who are blowing it up. Yeah. And so Kendrick and Cole are like similar to that to me. And I'm just unimpressed, man. Moving on to the bigger news. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say that a lot of people of all the spectrums chimed in on this. It wasn't just limited to white people. On top of that, I feel like everything about the might delete later makes it like, if I'm going to be a little conspiracy theory with this, my first thought was he's not going to keep this shit up. Like, he was hesitant from the point of the album title. There was some part of him in the back of his mind that when he dropped it, it was like, I might actually delete this later. Like, and then I don't know if it's true, but I think I saw that Kendrick was ready to come back with a response on. Littyyy Bro does hate Montreal MC sometimes. I'm pretty sure he's not a fan.
Nah, I mean, I hate all fucking so-called purists and everybody who's like rapping about rapping and about how they're rapping better than the people that are rapping about stuff that doesn't have substance because they're having a good time. And like those guys are just like, oh, yeah, I hate that. But that's not like a Montreal thing. That's everywhere. New York City has that.
Fair.
Every place in the whole entire world where rap exists has a bunch of rappers that are rapping about
But
rapping and how much
I
better at
do
rapping
think
they are than all the other guys that are rapping.
I think a lot of people were really hoping this was going to turn into their Jay-Z Nas moment, because arguably these are the people in the caliber of, you know, the Jay-Z and Nas that are modern now in terms of popularity. If there was going to be a battle like that, I'm gonna be real. I think Kendrick's tap was really light. I also think Cole's tap was really late. Like, he didn't really say his name. Everyone knew who he was talking about, but he didn't like outright say his name, despite making it like very clear. Um, I just I just felt like everyone made this sound like it was the craziest shit ever, and I don't know that it was. And then I think what made it extra crazy is, I guess, what comes next with the whole fucking apology part, which I don't know if you want to run that.
Right. I mean, I kept on telling people leading up until this. I literally had made a status like an hour before the apology, or a couple hours before the apology, um, where I had said I've been describing it as like um, Future and Metro Booming had a party, and Kendrick Lamar stepped on with his verse. He stepped on J. Cole and Drake's sneakers. And then what came next is a J. Cole diss song, which is J. Cole shoving Kendrick Lamar back for stepping on their sneakers. But nobody has thrown a punch yet. And that's what I expected to come next. Somebody throwing a punch or somebody throwing a chair. Um,
Well, that
and
was like part
then
of a
and
theory I
then came
heard.
the apology, which I did not see coming. Oh my god, bro. He fucking apologized. Yo, that is unbelievable. I have never in my life. People, I saw Excel, shouts out to Excel. Um, I saw him in my timeline talking about people saying that Jay-Z also apologized. But this is not the same thing at all. Like, Jay-Z apologized because his mother made him apologize, because he did a song called Super Ugly out of emotional anger, like within 24 hours or 48 hours of Ether. And he said, um, he named Nas's baby mom and said, I left condoms in your baby seat. And so it was true. Like, he literally, so really what he was apologizing for was for the action of leaving condoms on Nas's baby seat. You know what I mean? While he fucked his fucking baby mom, you know, and like, that's not the same thing as like, the beef hasn't even really started yet, and you apologize because it's weighing heavy on your heart. And man, what was it he said? He said,
It was
I
just
damn
over
near had a
3.5
relapse.
minutes.
Three and a half. He said a lot. He said a lot. He said I damn near had a relapse. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The past 2 days have felt terrible. It let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. But this is the thing, is that nothing happened. Like, nothing that I said that was like so I mean, false narratives got set on J. Cole's part, right? Because he said your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it, right? And it's like, well, Cole, your whole discography has put me to sleep endlessly. Since you first came out,
You know,
Friday Night
even
Lights,
if we're
all that
being
shit
like
has
unbiased and
put
shit,
me to sleep.
the majority
Absolutely
of
put me to
people
sleep.
have not. The majority of people have not liked a lot of his work since 2014, Forest Hills Drive, which like was like hit its peak in my opinion. And despite the fact that Cole fans are diehard Cole fans, like the buzz he had did not carry through in the same way in my opinion. I feel like the hip hop crowd likes him more, but the rest of the world kind of cares way less.
Yes, I could see that. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I just know that he apologized, and that is like, whoa, like, yo, you are about to see what happens when you don't fight back in our culture. Pretty much, like, you get marked out. Like, he's gonna get marked out and be talked about like a sucker until he does something. You're gonna, if you don't, there's the thing, you get punched and you don't punch back, yo, you might as well fucking go shoot somebody because you're gonna get made fun of so much, you're gonna want to move. And there's nowhere you can move on earth that'll get you away from social media. People are gonna relentlessly make fun of Cole for this shit, man, because it really is like something that is like, man, I saw people talking about how soft like that the beef was. And I was defending it and telling people, well, that's where that whole analogy came from of the stepping on the sneakers and it's just a shove, it's not a punch yet. I was telling people this because I was like, no, hold on, because Nas did the same thing with Stillmatic Freestyle where he said like, is he H to the Izzo, M to the Izzo? But like you had to wait like a minute. It was like a 2 minute, 10-second freestyle. You had to wait a minute and a half to get to that one bar. And it was a short diss, you know? Like it wasn't ether. It wasn't a whole diss song that it was a whole diss song dedicated to Jay, but it's not an obvious diss song until a minute and a half in. And so I was just using that also to explain how like Cole was, you know, these are the bait songs to bring out the big guns. And man, I was wrong because J. Cole's a fucking pussy. Like, wow. I did not know how vagina this man was. And you know what? That's disrespectful because vaginas are tough. Vaginas give birth. Vaginas take a pounding. Vaginas are strong. They are resilient. They are fucking just some of the best stuff on earth. Cole is none of those things. Like this is a
I
sad day in
mean,
hip hop. Yo, it's a sad day for a whole generation. And I'm not
I
even
think
that guy to like go generational warfare, but J. Cole and Kendrick and Drake are speaking for their generation. They are the new Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas of their generation. And um Cole's not setting a good example for it
I
at
don't.
all.
I mean, I think. I mean, oh, Preach is saying, just realized Future has more IG followers than Cole and K Dot put together, yet none of them will ever get to Drake's influence, which is odd. I mean, I think it like something I think a lot about is like Cole and Kendrick operate under a lens of hip hop. Drake and Future operate under a lens of pop music. They're like super aiming for different things out of their career, in my opinion. They understand how to make fun music for all kinds of environments, but also to tell their story and to do a lot of other things. I find them pretty versatile, but at the end of the day, they remember the live environments that their music is going to be played at, and they make sure that those environments are pumping or are bumping with the sounds that they produce. Whereas, honestly, I don't know. When I was doing the album reviews, like I found like KOD was such a boring album. And like For Your Eyes Only was like pretty cool for like the one listen, but then like there wasn't like full of these songs to go back to. It wasn't like a lot I didn't connect to that album because that shit wasn't for me. And then like nothing I've really heard him do since was incredible. Like even that little Dirk joint, I just found him kind of whiny. Like he literally on that song tells you that you shouldn't bump a dead rapper's music if you hadn't heard of them before. Like I don't really want J. Cole telling me how to live my life, to be honest with you. And I think it's that kind of shit where like, and then like if you look at Kendrick's last album was like a therapy session that was really depressing, and it was for nobody but Kendrick. It's an amazing art piece, but it's like an art piece more than it's something you really want to like throw on and like fucking listen to. So he hasn't had no music since like I guess Damn, then that was like really hit worthy. Maybe he had a 1-2 off of Mr. Morale, but it didn't really stick. Whereas Future has been consistently dropping music the whole time, and so has Drake. These two guys have not stopped. They are fucking machines that will put out multiple albums a year and get involved in so many projects and do so many features because they're not necessarily worried about making perfect music. They're just worried about making good music that people will want to listen to in funner environments. And I think that's what makes the difference in popularity these days. Is like we don't young people don't follow the same genre lines. It's not like it's hip hop heads and you go to the hip hop club. It's you go to the club and frankly they all play the same fucking music almost regardless of the environment, and then it's just different remixes and different sounds. It's like the entire game has shifted, and most people are going out to get laid and debaucherize and do these kinds of things, especially in the post-COVID time. So it makes sense to me that artists that create music for environments that are funner do better in the general sphere of social media and popularity. Anyway, that was my 2 cents on that comment. But also to bring it back in, I think Drake's going to make the difference in this beef because Drake ain't done shit yet. I don't know if he will. But if I was Drake, I would now. Now I would, because this is kind of a ridiculous moment. Now it's changed. It went from a little bit of spitter pattering to, well, Cole has apologized, which I think in 6 months won't make a difference to most people. I think it largely depends on how his next album sounds. You think, Preach? I don't know. I would like to see Drake come and do
Preach.
something.
Preach said Drake isn't gonna say anything now that Cole apologized. It's done. I don't think so. I think Drake will. Hopefully.
I don't think he'll
Um,
make a song. I think he'll do a Drake stunt. Like one of his super grandiose, like fucking, he'll be on tour and have like the headlines at the bottom start calling out the fact that he ain't going to apologize or some shit like that. Anyway, shout out Stefano on YouTube saying, "What up, family?" I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. I think a lot of people, though, are going to respect Cole for this, and they're going to call it mature. And it's not going to be the same people that are mad. It's going to be like a whole other side of the spectrum that are going to be excited how J. Cole stayed true to himself and didn't give in to peer pressure. And even though he did, but he went back and owned it. And I think for every fan that he's going to lose over this, he's honestly going to gain a whole ass new fan that never would have bumped his music until he apologized. And that's the weird world of polarizing situations. And I guess we're going to see when his album drops if this affects his sales positively or negatively. But I think the people who don't like him for this are going to bump it to see if it's whack, and a whole bunch of people who didn't care are going to bump it now because he's been brought into this situation, and he's going to come off winning at the end of the day because he's finally going to drop his fucking 5-year late album. Yeah. I don't know what Kendrick's going to do.
yeah, I mean, we shall see. We shall see what happens. Um, I just know that for sure. Cole looked like a bitch ass. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm never gonna respect that. Like, yo, that shit done. There's nothing about that. Like, nothing even got done. That was like, you have to apologize. You didn't even. I mean, I guess he apologized because he was lying. Because he said your second shit put niggas to sleep, and then he looked in the mirror and was like, "Man, bro, all my albums put people to sleep. I'm such a liar." And he felt guilty and went on stage and apologized like a little bitch ass. But yeah, I'm not jacking it. I do hope Drake steps up and drops some heat. I hope he back to backs fucking Kenny. I hope he fucking does it to him. I don't know, man. I know it's disappointing though. That's for sure. I'm in my timeline. I see nothing but a vast, overwhelming majority of people saying this is some bitch ass shit. Like women, men, older, younger. I got somebody who was like, "No way!" They thought that I was joking when I said that Cole apologized, and when I like tagged him in the video, he was like, "Wow, man! Like, no disrespect, Dutch, but there's some light skin behavior." And I was like, I'm not taking offense. I'm not a J. Cole fan. I never was. You guys shouldn't have been fucking with J. Cole all this time. He never was worthy of nothing. He was getting overpraised. In my opinion, it shouldn't have been who's the best, Drake, J. Cole, or Kendrick. It should have been who's the best, Drake, Childish Gambino, or Big Sean. That's what the conversation should have been the entire time. That's where the true talent lied. Or maybe throw Cuddy in the conversation. But like Cuddy's really like a different type of artist. Like he's not really a rapper like that. Those guys all still rap actively, besides doing a lot of singing shit. Well, not Big Sean. Big Sean just 100% raps. But like Childish Gambino and Drake do a lot of singing shit. But yeah, the conversation should have been them. It should have never been. And Childish Gambino's like a super nerd. So like, if you guys want to fucking nerd out with like a nerd rapper, it's like there you go, an actual talented nerd, bro, a talented nerd, not these fucking bitch ass motherfuckers. But the point is, yeah, motherfuckers tried to tell me, oh, no offense. I was like, I'm not offended. This ain't my light skin behavior is Jay-Z light skin behavior. It's acting right at all times, maintaining character and integrity. Like like I have a fucking 24-hour reality show and I got a certain crowd and demographic that I appeal to and I'm not trying to lose them. You know what I mean? And that's real motherfuckers. And so you don't gotta apologize to me. J. Cole though, like his fans, everybody will tell you. That's why I'm like, that's crazy that you see half and half. Because in my timeline, I only see one guy being like, yo, what's so bad about him
Nah, that's
apologizing?
because like I did album
Yeah.
reviews for a long time, right? So one thing I've
Mm-hmm.
learned is our timelines are not the bigger picture, and what
Nah.
people really used to like about J. Cole, like, because keep in mind, like the last couple of years, he's not been exactly producing the same sound that he used to produce. So the way I see it is all the people that are big time J. Cole fans that have been wanting to smoke and all this, him talking about how he wants to smoke, that whole vibe, they're not even the same fans that would ever listen to like Wet Dreams. Right? Like it's almost like a
Right.
completely different demographic of J. Cole fans. However, if you fuck with Wet Dreams in 2024 and you still like all of them old Cole joints, you've been waiting for him to be apologize on stage Cole. And it's going to unlock a lot of people that have lost interest in him due to his current behavior, and they're going to take him seriously in a different way. So I see it like that. I might be wrong. I might be overselling the percentages of it, but at least for me, I lost interest as time went on. I felt like he got in a direction I cared less about, and I can't be alone in that. I've seen other positive reactions about the maturity in his action, and there's a lot of people that find that version of manliness to be appealing, where despite the fact that this man is aware of what's about to happen to him, he did not make this choice ignorantly. He knows he's going to get roasted. He's fold your clothes rapper. He knows what's going to happen next, and he still did it. You could argue that that's courage, that that's manliness, and it's a valid argument.
Yeah,
You might not
absolutely.
agree with it. It
I'm
might
not
not.
questioning his manhood. Like I'm questioning his toughness. Like which is a totally different thing, and it doesn't have to do with manhood, right? Like to me, like uh this doesn't have to do with like him being a man or not masculating. It's just, oh, you a bitch ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you'll let somebody punch you and like get away with it. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's like there's a bunch of people who will be like, you should punch back, and then a whole bunch of people who will be like, you did the right thing. And that's why I think it's going to be like a switch. And he's going to lose a lot of fans, but he's going to gain a lot of fans. And that's how
Yeah,
stardom
yeah,
works
true,
across the
absolutely, of
board.
course.
The
I
fact that
mean,
we're arguing, the
we
fact
will
that there
see.
is an argument, he's more relevant off of his apology than a lot of his
Depends
music.
on what the argument is, right? Because, like, I guess you know what would be the best gauge of this? Because if we just went to Twitter and see what the top 10 tweets about it are, because that's the real gauge, right? Like, that's what
I think
majority of
the real
humanity.
gauge is going to be what happens when his album drops, and will people
Because,
support that? Because
right, right.
everyone's
But
going to
for
be
now,
negative
what
today
we
and now.
have that's a gauge is like, nah. If everything, it can't be that everything's negative, right? Because if you're saying that you're seeing
Well,
it,
I mean, I
then
see
there
it
should
a bit
be
on
people
Facebook. I mean,
online,
Twitter's hella
you
negative.
know,
But let's check. I'm already on Twitter looking.
share with the
Um,
people. Share your search
uh,
with the people.
I'm pulling it
People
over.
love people love watching a good old search.
Also, in case you're wondering, we are live on Perspectives Twitter right over here. We have a Twitter. It basically just goes live a bunch. Uh, so let's look at J.Cole and see what people are saying. Oh, he's trending already. Of course he's trending. My lowest.
You scrolling too fast. It'll be those top
Oh,
four.
it's just. Well, because
Okay,
apparently Styles P
extend.
commented. So, the MC with the competitive nature part of me is upset at the young man, while the mental wellness, take care of your spirit part of me is very proud of him. He just confused the shit out of my frequencies, but I'm gonna go with take care of your spirit, please. Y'all self before you worry about pleasing others. My hypothesis, this is something that he never wanted to do, but the nature of the game and what people say can dictate your movement. Throwing jabs eventually leads to throwing power shots at some point, and that ain't his thing or something. He wants to do this with his fam, so he chose to bow out gracefully. Never knock a man for bowing out gracefully or choosing to protect his spirit. Whether you agree or not, that's what courage to do. I respect the high vibrations, etc. So that's Styles P's take on it.
Mhm.
J. Cole taking L's. Charlemagne's take is apparently super similar to Styles P.
Charlemagne isn't in a position to like. Charlemagne was like downing J. Cole and saying that the people that are upset at J. Cole are low frequency and toxic people. Meanwhile, he's the same guy that kiki ha-has at the shit that 50 Cent be doing. Um, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
constantly encourages uh, bullshit. So it's like he's just hypocritical. So like he's not a good example.
Yeah, this one is J. Cole apologized to Kendrick. Drake making duck lips and IG subliminal. City girls beefing. Meek Mill is 2 fries short of a happy meal. Logic is white. Diddy going to jail. And then hell, hip hop is in shambles. That's another huge part of the take I've seen is this is not good for the state of the hip hop for people that do remember the 90s. Oh my
um,
god. J. Cole when he sees these city girl tweets. I don't know what's happening with the city girls, but that sounds spicy.
um, Young Miami was beefing with Glorilla, and they were calling each other ugly.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's a bit of like hate towards them from like the fans, but nothing like extraordinary. And yeah,
this guy said this is my 9/11.
overall, I get that people don't like it. What did Saigon say? That's a good question.
What did Saigon say? Oh,
Let's-
um, I think I saw something.
Saigon. He has Twitter, right? The real Saigon. Okay, I don't know where it starts, but salute to J.Cole. That was a grown man move. Sad to see all these adults in their fourth childhood not understanding a man, not wanting to engage any further in nonsense. Y'all do realize the word dis comes from the word disrespect. So all y'all who are mad at this man chose to take the high road and not go further in disrespecting another man need to take a close look at yourselves. He is 39 years old. Y'all want him out here making diss songs? Shake my head. I mean, apparently, yeah, that is exactly what people want. What I realize in life is 99% of the people who instigate and egg on fights and shit are the softest motherfuckers around who wouldn't dare engage in a fight at all. They just want to be entertained. That's Saigon's 2 cents.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I think there's going to be people who respect it. And guys like that talk on that kind of energy. You're going to watch how 3 to 6 months from now, it's not going to be like what it is today. And I think that, like, I saw some battle rap related people really going in on how disappointed they are. And trust, I know that you can't come back from that. He committed huge faux pas, but most of the world doesn't follow by those rules. In fact, people love redemption arcs. So all J. Cole has to do is tell a movie in the next 6 months about his like recovery, drop the fall off or whatever it's called, off season, whatever. He could drop he could do a lot of things that would make people like and respect him again very quickly, because it doesn't change much in the grand scheme of it. He's not the guy that I ever was going to destroy people in battle rap or in rap. Like,
he was selling. You stopped paying attention, like you said, right? You stopped paying attention around Forest Hills. But from what I understand,
I really stopped.
He spent the last 4 years calling out for all the smoke and talking down to all the rappers that were beneath him, out the new school. You know what I mean? Spending a lot of time on every feature. He called himself Muhammad Ali on first person shooter, right? So to say you're Muhammad Ali is to say that you want to be the number one guy and you want to be competitive. Muhammad Ali was in a sport where he had to compete against other people. So like, right, like you could say, you know, I'm feeling like Langston Hughes. There you go. Now you're not competing against nobody. Now you're just writing a fucking book and you're just being graded on how great your writing is all by itself, not competitively.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're likening yourself to Muhammad Ali because you're likening yourself to a championship boxer, likening yourself to somebody who's competitive and wants to fight, you know? So yeah, and I get it, right? Like, because this is the other thing, right? Like, I could in turn, right, say something like Saigon and people of that nature who are pretending to take the high road are just fake conscious people who, right, are like trying to pretend that they're the same people that just finished disrespecting somebody in their real life. You know what I mean? But you're online trying to preach, you know, awareness to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, at the end of the day, the thing is this. It's a competitive sport. J. Cole was screaming, I want the smoke. I want the smoke. Let's be competitive. Don't nobody want it with me. I'm Muhammad Ali, right? It's me, K. Aubrey and me, right? So, like, and then K. Dot was like, ain't no big three, niggas, just big me, nigga, bum. And you took offense, right? And he sent shots back. And then immediately after sending shots back, he was like, no, I don't want to do this. And that's fine. That's fine too. But like, I'm allowed to judge you by your actions, all of them, the entirety of your actions, even your cowardice. You know what I'm saying? So like, if that's what it is, like it could be in the disguise of maturity, because nowadays people love to disguise themselves with faux.
Jojo Nitty is saying on Facebook, hip hop is maturing and growing. It's time to act right. Turning 50 years old, I'll be acting my age next. So it's like there's that narrative
I mean,
or
I don't think
perspective
that
on
it's
it.
just that. I think that this generation has a lot of fake consciousness, right? Like, there's a lot of what do they call that? There's a lot of virtue signaling. You know what I mean? That happens, and everybody wants to just be the right person all the time because we do live in this social media age of uh, forward presenting and presenting all the things that are okay, right? Which I'm not against, right? I'm not against none of these things. I'm just calling out what I do see for what it
Preach
is,
is
right?
asking, how is it fake?
How is what fake?
The fake positivity or consciousness, or I believe you said fake
Oh well,
consciousness.
no, I mean that people just definitely be uh one moment they people pick and choose when to be positive and conscious, right? Because this positivity and consciousness isn't around for Diddy. Nobody cares about Diddy, but nobody has any proof of Diddy actually doing anything wrong,
Yeah, let's segue
right?
into Diddy as we're doing that.
So, yeah, absolutely. So the point is that it's fake. Like people aren't. You're not good. You're not better because you see how J. Cole can back out from a beef that he engaged in and how like that's mature. It's like when people are like, "Oh, I don't watch Transformers or Marvel movies. I like Quentin Tarantino." It's what I was just talking about on my Facebook. Like people who are like, "Oh, I'm not into Jay-Z, Drake. I'm not into Kanye West. I'm into MF Doom, Tech Nine." You know what I mean? It's like, yo, bro, you're not. I think you think that this is doing something, but what it really is doing is like giving you even more of a like. You think that you're doing the right thing, but it's not the right thing, and it comes off not only fake,
Well,
disingenuous,
there
and try
there are
hard,
bound to be some
and
people who really believe that shit. I mean, Preacher's saying
yeah,
it, but like there is a degree of it. But
absolutely.
it could be
Absolutely.
argued that if
I'm not
you,
following those people into anything.
but the other side of it is when you
I'm
are
not mad at
being,
people who do follow them. And I'm not saying that I have the right way. You know what I mean? I'm just saying for me in the environment I grew up in and the way that I grew up, right? Um, that's what that's called. That's called fake. Like that's just being fake. That's why I always say I don't like J. Cole and Kendrick. I don't like their brand of consciousness. It's the same thing as Mos Def and Talib Kweli's
yeah,
brand of consciousness, which is pseudo fake conscious. It's consciousness for consciousness sake to pretend and say, but I
but
still
it's
see you
part of
at the
their
strip
brand,
club with
right?
white girls. I still see you at strip clubs with white girls. So now you're fake to me. You're not really standing by who you are. Now, if you embrace, now if you were like Dead Prez, David Banner, if you were like Jay Electronica and Toby Nwigwe, that you embrace your like your ratchetness as much as your righteousness, then I'd respect you more. But it's when you're all consciousness, fake consciousness, it just comes all pretentious as fuck to me. To me, everybody else can look. I'm not the end all be all of like anything. You know what I'm saying? I like Jay Z.
Oh,
I
you
like
have like a
Drake.
really,
I like
I think you have
Diddy.
a really
I like
valid point
Kanye.
about it. Like if you take a
Um,
guy like Talib Kweli as an example, right? His brand is consciousness. It's as though the reason people are drawn to his music is because he presents a higher level of moral superiority than other rappers through his music, and he doesn't, in theory, reduce himself to the same tactics employed by, let's say, more morally corrupt rappers. And this is an entire
right.
brand and industry,
A whole
like
career that he created off that. Because
and
when he
like
first came out with Mos Def and Black Star, they were kind of like the song that blew them up was like, oh, you know, is this a Bad Boy Records diss? Like, is this like a diss to the mainstream or just Bad Boy directly? So like that was like their brand from the very beginning is like backpack rap for all of us that are tired of that on the radio, man. And that's their shtick. You know what I mean?
and they
But it's a
present like
shtick.
a
But
yeah,
it's a
because like
shtick. So it's as much of a shtick as the guy with the chain, as the so-called fake thug, as all the other things are shticks. That's a shtick too. And I am allowed to not respect that shtick as much as those people that love that shtick are like,
Right.
oh man, fuck the
But like
mainstream,
in terms of
fuck Puffy, fuck Jay
the
Z.
authenticity of all of it, right? One of the things I firmly believe is that when you are super sincere about like your conscious actions, it's not like you flaunt it, right? That isn't how
Exactly.
you differentiate. You don't try to make
Nope.
your buck off of it. Like to quote like some Bible shit, that's not what Jesus would do. Jesus would live that shit. And then other people would point out how your actions are mad different. And that's the way that you're supposed to, quote unquote, let your light shine and shit. So like when you see people acting pious on their crap, even if they've got legitimately good things to say baked into it, it creates unreal expectations, especially when many, many, many of the heroes of this world that act pious end up being fucking weirdos with like harems of bitches and like wildly indulged in drugs and did all kinds of shit that arguably their music would judge you for doing. They just don't, quote unquote, sell their music with it, despite the fact that their lifestyles are exactly what they're criticizing their peers for doing, which weirdly is inauthentic. Now, like, I'm not saying it's everyone. Like, as an example, Ari the Rugged Man is very honest about love and hoes, but he's actually quite sober and drinks tea and shit. Like, he's a pretty clean dude, so his whole, lifestyle kind of matches up with what he puts out into the world. A lot of the other ones, you can't say that about. They actually just wildly be partying and just how they are. And I've heard a bunch of stories at this point where it's like, I get why you don't want to meet your heroes, because you could run into a homeboy whose music is a certain way, and then they're just not that. I will say Jerry the Damage is exactly what he sounds like. That guy is authentic as
I mean,
fuck.
all those guys don't really like, right? Like those guys all like, um, they don't. It's not like there's like a high ceiling for what they're telling you. That it's not like, oh, you know, their whole shtick is anti-mainstream. So that's like a low ceiling on like maintenance, you know? Like they don't have to show up in a nice car. They don't have to show up with no jewelry on, right? Like they've never set up this image for themselves, and that's fine. I'm not saying that they do have to. What I am saying though is that like judging things fairly, there wouldn't be a high ceiling for them to show up and be something, because there's not much to be when you're not like really talking any type of big talk to be presenting anything that you can't, necessarily afford to present or something like that, you know?
Right. All right, let's talk about Diddy, because we should get the titles in.
Yeah, yo, let's talk about Diddy. So, Stevie J was defending Diddy. Said he's known him for 29 years. He's never seen any like of the activity that people are talking about. Um, I've never seen my man do anything foul like they say he did, is what he said, quote unquote. He called 50 Cent and Uncle Tom for beating up his baby moms. Um, Diddy, he said Diddy was spending time with his daughters and his mother, which makes sense. It was actually Easter weekend that weekend. Um, Diddy is like a wildly religious person. Uh, he was at Diddy's home, Stevie J. He says they wouldn't have never done this to white kids, compared it to El Chapo and Osama bin Laden's raids. Uh, 50 they said that he said that there were like 50 dots on his shirt, like from all the guns. He was detained. He spoke to the higher ups. They told him that they were not arresting him. Uh, Diddy's ex-wife, Nisa Hilton, the mother of Justin Combs, shared video of overzealous, over-militarized force used in the raid on Diddy's home in Los Angeles. Because Stevie J, if I'm not mistaken, was in the home in Miami, and Nisa was in the home in Los Angeles. And so she just called it deplorable, said it was an attempt to humiliate Diddy's children. Um, Diddy's lawyer made a statement, an official statement. He said yesterday there was a gross overuse of military level force search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. There is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Mr. Combs nor any of his family members have been arrested, nor has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. So, like, this is an official statement from Diddy's lawyer. This unprecedented ambush paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. He continued. So that was an official statement from Diddy's lawyer. Diddy was not arrested. So the stuff that we reported last week when we were debunking all the rumors out there was 100% true. Again, like, I just Googled things and like I took all the crazy headlines and just Googled them and found out they were not fucking true. Diddy was not arrested, like his lawyer said, but he did speak to and cooperate with authorities. Despite media speculation, neither Diddy nor any of his family members have been arrested or has their ability to travel been restricted in any way. So like all those memes that you saw online about like the plane route and like the plane route is like, yeah, Diddy's fucking wealthy, yo. He was traveling on Easter as a wealthy black man that is Christian would travel on fucking Easter weekend. What are we talking about, yo? It's crazy. It's pretty fucking insane.
Even though, and to be fair about the jet, there's still to this day nobody said he was in the jet. It was just his jet. And if I'm not mistaken, rich people's jets get used by other people during off hours as a way to offset the cost of owning a jet. Like, you could rent a flight back. And like there's like, I'm not saying that Diddy's jet's used that way, but like there's a lot of reasons why Diddy would lend his jet to key people in his life for XYZ reason. That's some rich people shit. You just gotta watch any rich people TV show to see how they move. And Diddy's in that tier of shit. Like, Diddy is as rich as the people on Billions. So it's like, you know, like, what are we talking about? This guy doesn't operate in the regular sphere of life. But I just think that like I was saying last week, I think a lot of people are going to make a lot of money on this. They rent out their jets to cover costs, like Preach was saying. Preach also said whoever was protecting Diddy back in the day is not protecting him now that he's not about that vote or die life no more, which I thought that was a great comment. But like, I think it's a media circus.
Yeah, have you been paying attention to the Facebook and YouTube comments? I'm meant to tell you that we should fucking start rotating the comment chat on the right.
Sorry, I think I missed. It looks like Pax was there saying he was better out in regards to Cole. He had made a comment. I have watched YouTube. Like I said, Stefano showed up. Been trying to watch it all.
Somebody told me that they was leaving a comment on there. But yeah, go ahead. My fault.
Yeah, I just think that like people really see the money in this. There's a lot of money in speculation. There's more money in speculation than there is in solution. Like, I came across this random ass podcast called The Cooper Vortex where they discussed the DB Cooper case, which is the only unsolved American hijacking of an airplane in U.S. history. And it's a whole podcast where everybody's trying to figure out, all the guests are trying to figure out who solved the case. Now, the thing is, if they ever solved the case, and there's ever like a big conclusion, all these people who wrote books and are doing documentaries and TV shows, they don't make no money. They don't get nothing back for this. There's no History Channel, this, that, the next thing related to it. In the same way with this Diddy case, it's not the truth that's going to make anybody money. It's the speculation. So, like, the fact that the whole Diddy do it, Diddy, diddly, Diddy kind of memes are moving around and it's viral as fuck means everybody can now just kind of put their 2 cents on a TikTok and YouTube video. That's going to generate crazy amounts of traction. And the truth is irrelevant. People well, it's relevant in the legal status of it all, but reputationally speaking, people want to believe he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is part of a record label called Bad Boy, so they do, inherently, it's in the name. He's not a good guy, so he's got his reputation that he's fostered. But I think that really a lot of people struggle to reconcile with certain lifestyles that are outside of their own, and he's honestly being slut shamed by Puritans in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
Is how
yo.
I see this shit going down. And there's a lot of money
Because
in that
I've
judgy
been
shit.
looking at it, and I'm like, I keep on having the same conversations with my friends where I'm just like, yo, what is it that you guys think he's guilty of? Like, do you think he's guilty of like fucking guys, fucking dudes? It's like that's not against the law. Like, if Diddly is a diddler that's diddling all these dudes, like whatever is the joke, it's like, yo, that's not against the law, bro. Um, a majority of the things is just, but this is the thing about Diddy is that he presents as the good bad guy. Everybody feels super like, oh, I'm a good guy. I'm against Diddy. You know what I mean? Like people think they've gotten it in their heads that Diddy is the bad guy, and so somehow the consciousness of the culture is like, oh, Diddy deserves everything that he's getting right now, but like J.Cole, man, bro, totally, you know what I mean? Like, uh, totally understand, bro. I see. You know what I mean? Like they'll call for blood with one hand, and then with the other hand, call for like peace, and it's just like confusing to somebody who makes sense like me, right? It's tough to listen to idiocracy and pretend that
I
it's
mean,
not stupid.
let's say that we gotta just make sure we don't go too far down some false equivalency rabbit holes here, because there's a huge difference between lightly dissing your friend and apologizing on stage and potentially being a sex trafficker. I'm not saying Diddy is, but that is what he is being accused of. And the thing is in the believe all victims era that we live in, it is hard for people to be objective. I don't think people understand that rich people fly girls over to fuck them in jets and shit. I don't think people
Uh,
like fully
they
understand
it's a
this
whole
world.
thing of people not understanding, right? Like I constantly hear in this era of like pretend feminism that like people are like I a homie of mine was like on his pretend feminism shit, and he was like, man, I feel bad for Bianca Censori and how Kanye is using her. And I'm like, yo, what makes you think that, bro? Like, you just removing her from having any agency. Like, it's just like this era of like, oh, we're gonna respect women to the point where we want to protect all women, and then in protecting all women, what we're gonna do is pretend that we're talking about children that can't take care of themselves and make decisions for themselves, and we're going to talk about women in this way that's like completely demoralizing. Actually, if you look at it, like you're not defending women, you're demoralizing them and acting as if though they can't make their own decisions. Like Bianca Censori's, which actually, by the way, recently, this past week, that came out. A friend of hers came out and was like, "No, this is Bianca actually taking advantage of this moment that she's in this relationship with Kanye, and all these outfits that she's wearing are 100% her idea." As a designer who was employed by Easy, I'm kind of like, yeah, that makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm just
a lot of
also,
this shit is like
I think
too
it's because
hard for
people
people to comprehend.
like
You
it's
know?
like it's back to like the OnlyFans conversation of life. Like I found this podcast called Inside OnlyFans, where it's these two ladies that interview OnlyFans girls, very similar to what the Main Perspectives interview series is. It's that, but with OnlyFans peoples, to be honest. And listening to these women's journey on how they ended up making millions of dollars teasing dudes on the internet, really, like, it's interesting. For them, it's a business. They put their shit together. And then a lot of people slut shame them for it because that's what we've been taught is correct. I don't know, like, I have definitely seen some outfits that were like wildly like, you know, women's body parts are revealed, and I've never met one of them that told me, oh, I'm being forced to dress like this. It's usually people like choosing to wear these outfits that reveal stuff, man or no man in their life. In fact, often it's the ones that don't have men that dress the most revealing, because when they do get men, men are often far too insecure to allow their women to dress like that in public. So if anything, you could
which
argue
is
on a
another like
legitimate thing that Kanye is actually
insanity.
being a
Let
feminist
them,
by allowing his
let
woman to
them
dress how
dress
she
like that.
wants. But like the fact is, I think a lot of people
Should be
project their
engaging.
values. Like, I don't know, if I tried to tell Bonnie how to dress, she would look at me like whatever. I mean, she expects me to keep my beard because she likes it, but that's fine. But like, we don't there's no real control over like how anyone wants to dress, because it's just like it's not how life works. We could maybe discuss things, but like, I'm sure that she said, Kanye, you cool with this? He's like, fuck yeah, let's go make that, like, let's go get them headlines. You know, I'm sure they strategically planned all of this shit out,
As
and
you
they did
should,
it as a
Bonnie.
couple, because that's what happens. Like, I don't think she randomly married Kanye. Like, nobody, like she married him. Like, he had the choice of everyone. He clearly found somebody that wanted to be with him, that, like, you know, and synced it up. But like, people can't handle that because there's still a lot of adherence to a nuclear family kind of view based off of some religious background of what moral and righteous is, despite the fact that apparently in the 70s everyone was bareback fucking at orgies, though our parents don't want to admit that shit. Then AIDS came and everyone got a little more, less calmed down a little bit. Nobody wanted to admit that hippie shit that they all
No
like.
man.
Anyway, Preach is saying that apparently Keefe D is claiming that Diddy promised him $1 million to get Pac and is still owed money, and that this is getting brought into his trial. So
Keefe D, Gene Deal, like these guys are like, man, I don't listen to broke people, bro. Like I don't listen to people who like have ulterior motives of like being angry because they feel like they're owed some like fictional dollar amount that they swear will fix their life. But it's like your life is never gonna be fixed, bro. That dollar amount isn't gonna fix your life. It's not gonna make things better. It won't stop you from being a scumbag piece of shit. Like you're still gonna be a scumbag piece of shit with that dollar amount or without that dollar amount. And like I'm not fucking listening to those guys. Like I never listen to those guys. So like I don't that'd be like me listening to like people who stop being your friend about you. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool on that. You know what I mean? Like I mean I guess I'll take the information, but like obviously you have an angle here. You know? Like obviously you have an angle, and the angle is gonna be I don't like this guy.
right. Jojo Nitty said Diddy is in the place of pauses R word. She stays smiling from ear to ear. Also, I don't really know what that was in referring to. I missed those comments in real time, but I see you now, Jojo Nitty. Appreciate you watching.
Or appreciate you,
Yeah,
Tom.
I definitely think that there's a lot of money to be made in this from the media, and that's why the media is pushing it. The media is sensationalizing it. The truth is going to come out, and if he ends up being as bad as they say he is, I will definitely leave the caveat that, yeah, that's real bad. Yeah, we know who Keefe D is. I believe Flacco knows who Keefe D is.
Yeah, I definitely know. Like those are fucking guys that you hire. You know, it's not like Keefe D put out fucking All Eyes on Me. Like I'm not. You know, like hey, listen, man. Uh, I don't know. I guess he said he's an idiot with a point. But an idiot with a point. I don't know. I guess if he thinks so, you know what I mean. Like not to me. I don't listen to those people. Like I said, you know, they don't have like nothing like of value for me. It's just an ex-employee, a disgruntled employee complaining about their former boss. Like, bro, you haven't even been around the man for all these years. and your take on him never changes, that would imply that the man never grew from who he was around you to who he is now. And it's just like life has taught me that that's probably a lie. So why would I listen to, you know what I mean? Like Keefe D and Gene Deal talk about people that they knew from 20 years ago and who they were 20 years ago. And like, I don't know, bro. That sounds like a bunch of like gossipy shit. Like, I'm not into it. Super not into it. King Combs sued for sexual assault. Diddy's
Right.
son,
Yeah.
Christian Combs, aka King Combs, accused of sexual assault from somebody that worked on his yacht last year at some point. She says she thinks the liquor was spiked with drugs. Similar allegations that Little Rod made against Diddy. I found that really funny when I read this little bit of news or watched it on TMZ. The reporter was reporting, and he was like talking about. It sounded like he met with her in person. The woman that she has audio of the incident. I just think that's like pretty. So she was working the event, and she thinks that the liquor was spiked with drugs. Wouldn't that mean that you would have to have been drinking the liquor while you were working? So what kind of working were you working? You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of curious. What kind of work was this that was happening? Uh, I don't know, man. We shall see. It sounds like Christian Combs is under the same allegations as his father.
There. Um, I have almost nothing to say on this because I don't know except that you could not drink but also watch a bunch of people act funny. And very recently, I was duped by an ad into taking a course that would allow me to serve alcohol in Ontario. Anyhow, so one of the things they teach you is how to watch for exactly what you're describing. People under the influence of drugs drinking. You could reasonably assume that if somebody had X amount of alcohol and are acting way goofy, that it is possible to make that kind of a claim without consuming it yourself. I will just put in the one thing for the defense of it all. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe you were there for the funny business and you got a little too wavy. I've heard people get hella wavy at those kinds of parties. I'll talk about it after. I don't want to go into
Bon
details.
Bon is in the comments. She said, "LOL, he did the course and then looked into how valid it was in QC."
I digress. Let's not go. Anyway, I'm trying to deal with support still, and support is not rectified, so I'm not trying to piss off the demons while I'm trying to fight with the support team of miserable. It is the most miserable experience of my life trying to deal with these people, but I can't. I don't want to go too public at this time.
Okay,
But I'm
take it
mad
easy, Holden.
frustrated. It's very stressing. It's taking up way too much time, and the shit cost me money. And I know way too much about serving alcohol in Ontario, which is very useless to my life.
Word. Yeah. So that's it. Let's cover some quickies real quick. Nipsey Hussle was remembered on the 5th anniversary of his passing. I was just like, God damn. It's already been 5 years since they took Nipsey, man. That is so unfortunate. Chance the Rapper is getting divorced. So we had covered this story about Chance the Rapper dancing with some women at Juve, and whether or not his wife would be upset. And I saw this headline, and I was like, "Oh man,
Oh, we got
I
a
guess
YouTube comment. Sorry,
his
Valiant
wife
Thor. A
would
whole lot of
would be."
Peter gazing going on than P Diddy parties. Fair enough, Valiant Thor. Fair enough. But again, not illegal behavior, just moral. That's a moral problem. That's between how you believe and stuff. Anyway, so back to Chance the Rapper.
Word. Um, just crazy to me. It's like, yo, everybody who says that shit, it's like, yo, that sounds wild. You know, that sounds really narky, right? Like that sounds like where it's just like, yo, there's all yo, you know what happens at clubs right now in 2024, Holden?
Right.
You
What
do you know
happens
what
at
happens in
clubs?
them right now?
What happens
People
in
have
them?
sex in the bathroom. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yes.
Some
You want to know why
some
you knew that,
people in our
Holden?
audience may have
You
done
want to
that
know why
in
you
the
knew that?
bathrooms.
You want to know why you
Why?
knew that, Holden? Because it's a fucking common occurrence. Okay, it is literally a part of all fucking outside activity at the club. Do some drugs, meet a person,
Mm,
fuck them in the bathroom, right? And
there
now
is.
everybody's acting like there's something wrong with that type of activity happening at billionaires' parties, which is like, what? How? Why? I would think
I mean,
that's when you
billionaire.
indulge on that even more. Like, yo, this guy has a house. It's got 100 rooms. It's got a west wing and an east wing. It's got 20 rooms, 30 rooms. You know what that means? There's a lot of bathrooms. A lot of
Well, but it's
bathrooms.
not even
You know
like
what
they don't
happens
even.
when you
But
get a
that's
lot
not
of
even the
bathrooms?
kinds of parties
Or
they are.
fucking.
They're on some orgy shit. Let's just be direct. Like when you're at a
I mean,
level of life
are
where
they? Are
a
they?
lot of them, a lot of people are, a lot of rich people have these kind
Oh
of
man.
group sex. And but the thing is like, I mean, I'm
I
gonna
know
assume
people that
that.
know. I know people that know rich people, wealthy people, right? We're 1 degree of separation. You met my friend I'll be back. He's been on here. He just was with Kanye West again. During fucking granted, it was after the Jesus King era of Christian Kanye, but it's like he's never been like, you know what I mean? Like his level of shit is
Oh,
just like,
but I
yo,
have
fucking
also
old
been
school
on
dude.
Instagram and
Like,
seen some of the fucking footage, which is that because there was a period where you could get away with posting shit in the stories and on lives before you were getting banned, and during that era, these fucking wealthy ass motherfuckers were showing a whole lot of what they were up to, and there is the debauchery side of it, like fucking straight up just bunch of people in a room fucking on some groupie shit. Like the whole band's fucking a whole team of chicks. Like that's just a whole thing that happened for a long time. That's a wave. It's never been my wave, but like people run trains. People just do all kinds of shit. And you hear it from the women's point of view. You hear it from the men's point of view. I promise you there are fucking parties where a bunch of people do a bunch of Molly.
yo,
The
Holden,
whole
go
room's
to
fucking.
Google.
And that's a
The
whole
search
thing.
for the rest of the
And who.
world.
What are we searching?
Search for uh percentage of people having sex.
What percent? I don't know how to find this better. Give me more to work with.
Uh, there you go. There goes. What is that? Cora or
Yeah, Quora. Let's see. This is a 2010 thing. Assume 1 in 3 are
we get an
actually
idea.
sex. 1.5 million people could be having sex right now.
It seems to me like people who aren't having sex are very worried about what people who are having sex are doing. Like, I just don't give a fuck. I don't have the fucks in me to give for other people's sex lives. I just don't care. And I don't even understand. Like, now, as long as it's not R. Kelly shit, right? Where it's like, yo, R. Kelly shit is, yo, for a long time, there was a video of him pissing what looked like on an underage girl, right? Then the proof came forward, and then there was much more proof that came out.
R. Kelly has a lot of court cases. Like a
A
whole
lot,
lot
a
of court
lot.
cases.
Diddy, all the Diddy shit, all these years has always been like, nah, bro. I just don't. I don't see it, and everything that I'm hearing, it's like you sound emotional about it, right? Like people in like I remember in the '90s, people were emotional in New York City, in the streets of New York City. There was like a deep like disdain for Diddy on some like, oh, he's ripping the artist off and he's making them sign contracts. And I'm just like, I don't know about this. It doesn't sound accurate, yo. You know what I mean? And then like
Right.
as people talk in interviews, it's like, oh, yeah, man, we signed a contract, we didn't read it. And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like Diddy's fault at all. It sounds like you lack accountability as an adult human being. You know what I mean? Like when presented with the facts, right, of the situation, I'm like, well, Diddy doesn't sound like a bad guy now. Sounds like a guy who presented you with an option. You did not read anything that he presented you with, and you signed it, and you signed your life away without reading it. I can't feel bad for somebody like that. That's not the way that I'm wired. Like, I'm just not built that way. So I just don't understand the, you know what I mean? Disdain and hatred. And how do we end up back here?
Yeah, somebody made a YouTube comment, and I was
the
checking all the
YouTube
socials.
I went on a tangent. Glorilla and Young Miami are calling each other ugly on Instagram.
Hold on.
Damn,
You were in the
yo.
middle of Chance the Rapper still getting divorced. It was
Chance
still
the
on
Rapper
that.
got divorced. Chance the Rapper
Which
got
I guess
divorced.
is related to
Whatever.
him grinding on that booty. No, the thing
No,
about
come
Chance the
on,
Rapper
Holden.
getting...
Why would it be? You're being so immature, yo. How can you be like, I understand the J.Cole thing, but now you want the reason that Chance the Rapper is getting divorced to be because he was grinding up on some booty?
I was just throwing it in the air for gossip reasons, but I will say it is kind of comedic that the man basically tossed his career away to make a love album to this woman, and it didn't last because he ain't really had a career after
love,
that album.
Man. That's love, bro. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, love is crazy. You know?
Yeah,
man.
then,
I don't know.
Glorilla and Young Miami.
That's what I just finished talking about. Glorilla and Young Miami are calling each other ugly on Instagram. That's it. That's the beginning. That's the end. That's why they're trending on Twitter. Partially. Jason Sudeikis is a racist. He was fucking talking shit to Angel Reese during the game. He's not a racist for it, but he's a racist. I can't believe him. What a scumbag. You know what I mean? Like, out of nowhere, we had the actions that we had last year with this basketball game where a black girl had the audacity to do this back to a white girl that did this to her first in a game. And the black girl does it, and it becomes like a big thing. Like, how dare she? And then now, Jason Sudeikis and other white people that can't stand a black woman fucking like enacting justice, tit for tat, right? Are at these games whenever they're facing each other again, and they're fucking doing the thing to Angel Reese. It's just like, man, like, where's the accountability for adulthood from Jason Sudeikis and people like that? Like, where's the, oh, we want you to be conscious like J. Cole.
I definitely just don't think he's as popular. But put in front of enough people.
That's Ted Lasso. That guy is on a like pretty like syndicated Emmy nominated show. You know what I mean? So, but whatever.
I mean,
he's definitely not the most famous Jace. Tell you that much. You know what I mean? No. He's not the most famous Jace. Pusha T threw shots at Drake. I don't even know what to say about this. I didn't even pay attention. I just saw the headline and I wrote it down. But like, I didn't even fucking investigate. Crazy.
Pusha T throws jab at Drake amid Kendrick Lamar beef. That's the headline. It's loading. Being really fucking slow.
What do we know?
Being slow.
I don't know. I
don't know. Oh, there we are. Just wanted to point out, after all these years of mob talk from Drake, nobody ever laid a finger on Pusha T, somebody said. And then Pusha T replied to the post confirming, not a pinky nail. That's the whole thing. This is why these headlines. This is what I need.
Pusha be.
I digress. That was the headline.
You know what?
Yeah.
Go search Pusha. You know what? Forget it. That'd be so petty of me. Let's move on to the trailers, man. It's trailer time. It's cinematic perspectives time.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cinematic Perspectives. This whole section is being clipped out of the podcast, and you get to watch it now, where we are going to take a look at a couple of trailers, and then we're going to let you know what we think about them, and we want you to let us know if you watch these movies, which are all coming out this week that you see in this video come out. If you watch them, and if you like them, if the trailer makes you want to see it, let us know what you think. On that note, let us get the first trailer going. I've moved this over. Boom, boom. And here we go. I'm excited for this one.
Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
Put up the volume, bro.
The nuclear age.
Yeah, slow, eh?
Not made by God Almighty, but the working man.
That's weird. I can't make it louder.
Purchasing a residence in a Vault-Tec vault today. Because if the worst should happen tomorrow, the world is going to need you to build a better day after.
Oh, it was low on purpose.
The mission of the vaults should be important to everyone. To come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. Can you tell me what's happened in the last 200 years?
Bobblehead.
Holy shit. You're an actual vault dweller.
I am.
I thought all you dipshits were dead.
What you're doing is insane.
I don't set the world.
It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
Higher. I just want to start.
I've had a rough week. Practically every person I've met up here has tried to kill me.
I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
In my
You need to go home. You come from a world of rules, of laws. You should not be alone.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me?
People are going to come after you.
I should get power armor.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Vaulty. Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs. You look out at this wasteland, looks like chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel.
What is happening here?
Everyone wants to save the world. They disagree on how.
There you are, you little killer.
All
Wait.
episodes available April 11th. That is this weekend. Or actually, all episodes are available the 11th. That would be
Friday. No,
Thursday. Thursday.
I am excited as fuck. That trailer, I don't see how, if you're not a Fallout fan, that trailer is fun for you to watch. But if you are a Fallout fan, that shit is just giving you all kinds of Easter eggs. Like, even that scene with the shopping mall at the end where they walked up, like, that means nothing unless you played Fallout 3 And you know all about the intro mission where you have to go to the super duper mart and go scavenging. So clearly she leaves the vault, hooks up with Mans, and they're going scavenging just like you played in the game 12 fucking years ago. That's what that trailer honestly is. It's a bunch of shit like that to make people like me and Chris lose our shit when we see it. And then arguably, it's going to be mid. You can tell it's going to be mid just watching it, but it won't matter because hashtag Fallout. That's what that trailer is.
I miss Baxter being here because him being hard on the trailers is like awesome. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'll tell you this. I never played this game. I don't know jack fucking diddly squat about any of the shit that you're talking about, but I'm still gonna watch this because it looks good. You know, the trailer looks well done. I don't know what none of that shit means that you said, but I'm pretty sure that they'll piece it together and I'll figure it out when I watch it. You know what I mean? That's the point of a show, is to have like a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm not gonna do all that. All right, calm down. Relax, Holden. You ask for too much. Next thing you know, you'll be fucking asking me to read a book. Like, chill out, guy. You know what's gonna happen here.
Look, a video game is a very different experience.
I'm not doing either of them shits. The point being, it looks good, man. It looks well done. This guy is a great actor. Guy without the nose. I recognize some of the other actors in this. I love a dystopian sci-fi, right? So, like, I don't care whether it's coming from a manga, a fucking book, a comic book, a video game. You know what I mean? Folklore that got reinterpreted. I don't care. You know.
Right.
Give me some dystopian sci-fi future shit. Make it good. Make it entertaining. And I'll give you some flying colors. And I'll recommend you to my friends. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this too.
It looks good. And Chris is obviously excited. And then
Chris is super excited. He's in the comments losing his fucking shit. Chris is like, yo, what?
Because Fallout's like really deep in its lore. And it's really well done. And like it's like it's one of those few franchises that even the shitty version still paid attention to details that you can appreciate, even though there's parts you don't like. So to see like it come to life like that, that's cool. Cause like it's cool to see our video games are now the fucking source material for all this stuff.
So let me ask you something. Did you play The Last of Us?
I did not. No.
Okay, so I guess that's why you weren't as excited for that as you are for this.
Right, but I've been playing Fallout since I was 20, 21. Like it's like 15 years of playing different iterations.
Imagine the day that Grand Theft Auto gets a movie. That's gonna be crazy,
bro. It would be exactly. I hope they get I want them to get a TV series. Like I know the movie would be crazy. But I don't want it to just be one movie. I want it to last. I want it to be good. You know, just ongoing.
You know what they're missing? They're missing. I don't know. They might exist, but I'm just not paying attention. But like the way that there's like, isn't there like a YouTube page, of like what's that fighting game called with the double-sided sword? The general, the red soldier or blue soldier or some shit like that like is like the famous kind of like the
Street Fighter.
No, not Street Fighter. Kind of like the way that the Imperial Guard is, like the what are those guys called in Star Wars? The fucking white troops.
Stormtroopers.
So like the way the stormtroopers are is the way that these guys are with the helmet in video game like lore, like recent. Like they're super famous for being like it's from a first person shooter video game or something like that. Guy has like a sword thing that he holds in his hand that he pulls out. And it's got like a pointy It's like a futuristic looking sword.
Do not know,
I forget.
Chris. You play more video games than I do. I play. I play
The
like
point is, there was like the point is that video game had like a YouTube show of people playing the game, or I think no, they made a video game, a TV show on YouTube out of like reanimating the characters from the video
Are you talking
game,
about Halo?
and like Halo. There we go. Exactly.
Are you
Absolutely.
talking about Red vs. Blue?
Yeah, Red vs. Blue. Exactly. What
From
the fuck am I
Rooster
talking
Teeth.
about? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck,
I'm with
Holden?
you.
Jesus
It took a
Christ.
while.
I
used to
don't
watch
play
that
fucking
shit.
video games. I would think that you would fucking know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
It took
Right?
a while.
So there's a
I wasn't sure about the
there was a
gun
YouTube
sword
channel.
thing.
I didn't say a gun sword. I said he had a sword that they hold like this. Who holds a sword like this, Holden?
I don't know,
Nobody. You
it's
hold a
not-
sword
I don't
like
know
this.
the Halo guy for
Hold
holding
a sword like
like
this. You
that.
hold a sword like that. No, they don't hold the fucking
Like
thing
as
like
Chris
this.
is saying, do you know how
and it looks
many
like a
sword
fucking
games? And then Chris is going,
whatever,
Chris,
whatever. Let's not. Come on, guys. Come on. We're never gonna get to my point that I'm trying to make here. The point that I'm trying to make is that game had like a YouTube show of like people, right? Like I feel like Grand Theft Auto is missing like a YouTube show of like the funniest live action game, like people playing Grand Theft Auto, the funniest shit. The shit that does end up going viral, right? That people end up using, like, oh my God, look at this fucking unbelievable trick that this guy pulled off, or look at this fucking hilarious action of like slapping the
people
guy or
tried,
some
though.
shit like that. But if Grand Theft Auto were to make like a spin-off studio or like some little, encouraging a content creator to do some shit like that, that would be dope. And I think you could use the material from that to put together a series for TV or streaming.
Fair. I think people have tried, but it's not like YouTube was in a very strange place when that shit popped off. Let's be real. That shit would
we'll see with the next one where it is, right? Because the last one, I don't think the internet was where.
No, because with Grand Theft Auto 5, even Dama like fucking made a music video with Grand Theft Auto Online. Like lots of people have, I think, tried to do this, but the interest from people, like, because even with The Sims, people try to do this shit. Like, there's a lot of games that look like that. Whereas I think taking a story of a heist or some ridiculous shit that's written in the way Grand Theft Auto writes stories and making that a live action TV show could be fun.
Yeah.
And having it like take place in Liberty City or one of the locations,
San Andreas. I think that's like the golden. I think that's their X-Men #1. Like that's their most copy sold video game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think GTA 5 at this point.
CJ is the
dominated it.
Really? Damn.
I mean, because GTA
like to
Online, especially, like it's like because keep in mind they're making money on Grand Theft Auto Online for GTA 5 still, and this shit's been like 10 years. They're advertising
Fallout.
6.
Let's get back to Fallout. Yo, Fallout looks good. We're gonna fucking watch. We're gonna fucking kiki.
Definitely watching. Bonnie's not watching.
Let's get to the next trailer. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Got a reboot. Got a remake. I've never saw the first one. Did you?
Mom had a nervous breakdown. Whoa! And now she has to go to Thailand to an immersive 2-month yoga meditation retreat.
So we finna have a whole house to ourselves? We finna live like white kids.
We crank it up. I'm Ms. Durak, the babysitter.
Thank you, Miss Durak. There goes my summer.
I know how to discipline you. I watch Medea movies. No more of this garbage. Where do you think you're going? Get that crap out of your system.
Do something, bro.
I know you said no guests, but we had already invited our church friends for Bible study. Oh, and you might hear music, but it's Christian hip-hop.
Hip-hop ruined the blacks.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We crank it up. Crank it up, crank it up, crank it up, crank it up.
Good morning, Mrs. Sturrock.
Mrs. Sturrock?
Cricket.
Sweet, my first dead body.
I'm for sure going to juvie.
What's up, Zalmanel?
We're
It's
hungry.
good to see you.
You gotta get a job.
What up, Lamino?
Rose Lindsay?
Unless you're my ex-boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend's wife.
I am the executive assistant to the chief executive officer.
Bring it in, sis. Whoa. A-frame hugs only. I didn't spend 3 hours in that sexual harassment course for nothing.
You're screwed.
I have a date.
Nothing past second base. We don't need another mouth to feed.
Y'all live here?
Along with our mom. She's not here. She
Out on a very deserving spa day.
I'm high as hell.
I can't believe it's right in front of me. What is that job going to you?
I just have so much responsibility right now. Die!
DJ, drop the music!
Happy hour?
You're having parties without me? Help out. You goddamn dish, man!
Dishes are done, man.
Nothing can stop me.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I am not. I never watched the first one, right? So like, I don't have a connection. My wife though watched the first one, and when she saw that this trailer was coming, she was like, "Oh my god!" So like, there's a fan base for this movie or this franchise out there.
Looks fun. It looks predictable. It looks like it's gonna hit all the tropes you'd expect from a movie that looks like that. I don't think anybody should go into that with like high expectations of originality. But if you're looking for like literally everything that trailer says it's gonna be, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Be that as it may, I'm probably not gonna watch this movie because I'm not into. I didn't watch the first one, and
yeah.
This looks like some teenage tomfoolery if I ever saw it.
Yeah.
So at my age,
looks like some
I
cheaper
feel-
by the dozen type of shit, you know?
Yeah. So at this age, I feel like I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna go watch some more Fallout or something.
I totally get it. Totally dedicate my time to Fallout more than I would this weekend. Zelma Nils, what's up? He said, by the way, Flacco, I watched Sorry to Bother You after you recommended it to me. It was great. Thanks, man. I'm super happy that you are satisfied with your recommendation, sir. Great movie. I was literally just talking about watching that because there's a scene in Sorry to Bother You where Lakeith Stanfield and another character that is in the call center, they're like beefing or like having a standoff outside, but it is not a standoff. It's like a compliment off. Like, you smell really good, brother. You smell pretty good, brother. Well, you know, and it goes like that and like somebody shared that. It was like, this is J.Cole and Kendrick Lamar right now. Like, it was part of like the beefing. Like, it was part of the like the memes that was springing out between Friday and yesterday and today.
Right.
Yeah, so, but yeah, it's a great movie. I was literally just reminded of it yesterday because of that, and I was telling the wife, yo, we got to watch that again. Like, that's just one of those gems that because it's so good, like, you can watch it every few years and it'll still be good. It's a great movie. I recommend anybody who's never watched it to watch it. Let's get to this third trailer, The Greatest Hits. This is that movie that I was telling you guys about. You and, back.
Can I ask you a weird question?
Yeah, weird away.
If something happened to you, and I could stop it, but it would mean we would never meet, would you want me to?
What?
2 years ago, my boyfriend Max passed away. I can't seem to pull myself back together.
Ever since the accident, certain songs literally pull me back into the past.
What do you want to do today?
All of it.
Maybe it's time to start living in the present tense again.
I used to listen to this album over and over. And I love how music can do that.
What?
Pull you back to some moment in time.
Just stop the car! What if I can save him? What if I can change that moment and the accident never happens?
You met someone new. How's this a bad thing?
I would still listen to every record that ever existed to save him. It feels like I'm cheating.
You coming?
Nelly Furtado.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye too. Shout out Nelly Furtado, making Canada look good.
Shout out Nelly Furtado. Yeah, man, I just thought this was cool, cute, interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm always a sucker for a good love story. I think it's interesting, the idea of like losing someone and like being able to time travel, teleport to that moment with them through music. Like, we had spoken about this movie. I had told you guys about it in anticipation for this week. There was so many trailers. It took a lot for me to whittle this down to this. I figured the big popular thing, Fallout, old popular thing, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, or old cult following thing, a new cool weird thing, and
honestly, it's a really original looking plot. Like I didn't watch. I mean, it still feels like it's gonna be like a kind of typical romance story, and like it's like, you know, classic. She's in love with two guys, but how often is one of the guys dead, and listening to music as you're bonding with your new man actually pulling you into the past, making you feel like you're cheating on both of them? All right.
Yeah, super
interesting.
interesting.
If that's what you want, then
they didn't give away the whole movie. The whole movie would be like who she picks at the end.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? That's the point of us getting drawn in. We're already like
Bonnie says, I'd totally tell her to save me, even if I can't see him again. I can live without him, but I can't live without me. Bonnie's cold. Goes in.
I'm with her. But she's implying that she would be him. Yeah. Bonnie, you would be her, right? Or you're doing both.
I think Bonnie reversed it. I think Bonnie's saying
doing him.
She's him.
So she'd be him, and she wants to be saved. Save me.
Yeah.
Fuck our relationship. Right.
That's what she's
saying. Absolutely. Who isn't choosing save me, fuck our relationship? Who isn't choosing that? That's like people that
J.Cole.
That's like J.Cole people. Right. J.Cole people. Right. Yo, because let me tell you something. That's like the people who got upset during The Walking Dead and would post these like, oh, you know, is that morally right to kill like a zombie? I'm like, fuck yes. Kill the fucking zombies. They're going to kill you. Kill the thing that's gonna kill you. Why would this be a difficult thing? That's like people who tried to make like a moral question with Breaking Bad. I'm like, sell the drugs. Get the medical treatment. Sell the drugs. This is what you ended up. This is what you're doing. Go all out. Sell the drugs.
Selling the drugs doesn't mean you turn into Walter White. He went his own path all by his lonesome. As you can see, Jesse went a different path, and he wasn't as morally fucked up by the drug selling. In fact, they had a whole beef over this, and Walter's evilness got Jesse fucked in the end. I digress. How did Aaron Paul end up in Westworld is all I'm saying. Because I'm watching Jesse Paul as a robot, and it's weird. Anyway.
Oh, well, you know who that is? That's the same guy that's behind your series that you're eager to watch now. So Jonathan Nolan is behind Fallout, and he's also behind Westworld.
Oh,
so
never
if you don't
watch this, you just cinched
if you don't
shit.
like if you don't like these decisions, you don't like.
I like
Which,
I like
by the way, I looked
Westworld.
this up for anybody who's curious. Yes, Jonathan Nolan is Christopher Nolan's brother. So this is the family, and he wrote a couple of the movies that Christopher Nolan directed. I believe he wrote The Dark Knight or one of those movies in that trilogy. And then he also wrote another one of, I think it was Memento or something else in Christopher Nolan's filmography that he directed, was written by his brother, Christopher Nolan, who also directs now and has directed, is the producer director behind Westworld, and now will be.
Westworld was good, but it got when I found out it got canceled. I can tell you, I'm not surprised because I literally have to go watch recap videos to figure out what the fuck is happening in Westworld. So I hope Fallout's a little more direct. It could be still out there, but Westworld got fucking out there.
I mentioned who his brother is, right?
Right. Yeah. Still,
I mean, I think that's part of their shtick. They like having people dissect and deep dive and videos, and I mean, I think that's also part of a movie's success nowadays. Is how many people on YouTube are making videos about your shit.
Thanks. All right, let's do the last trailer.
Last trailer, what Jennifer did in Canada.
In Canada. Awful fucking place.
911, Drew.
Help me, please. I need help.
Ma'am, calm down. What's going on?
Some people broke into our house and they showed all his money. And I could hear my parents yelling downstairs. Please send help.
And then I heard 2 pops. My mom screamed. I yelled out for her. And a couple more pops.
Fucking Jennifer.
Take your time. Take your time.
This is a violent crime that has taken place. We have one deceased female Big Pan, and we have another male Pan Pan who has suffered injuries to his head. This case was something that we'd never seen before.
It was a situation that I could never have imagined.
There's more questions than there are answers.
All I could hear was my dad screaming on the street. I was yelling at him, but he wouldn't come in. I don't know if he didn't hear me, but he just wouldn't come in.
This quickly developed into something that nobody ever saw coming. I'm in shock.
You know what? Just stay there, okay? Jennifer? Jennifer?
Oh, Jennifer, causing havoc in a quiet Canadian town.
I'll tell you this: my wife, being the crime sleuth that she is, and the crime news gatherer that she is, she definitely knew of this story when she saw the trailer. She was like, "Oh, I know this story. I remember this story." I didn't know that it was in Canada.
Me neither.
But yeah, apparently it is.
I get the feeling shit. This might be a show that Bonnie chooses to watch. And then what's going to happen is I'm probably not going to watch it, but I'm going to get all the highlights of the show. Because she just watched Jeffrey Dahmer. and I did not watch it with her, but I got play-by-play updates on all the good shit happening in the Jeffrey Dahmer case as she discovered it. So I feel like it's going to go down like that, because I don't really think I'm the true crime market, but like Bonnie said in the comments, can't tell if it'll be boring or lit, because it looks like all the other true crime things, and they're so fucking hit or miss. Sometimes they're lit, sometimes they trash.
Right. We shall see. I figured that, this is another thing we should start hedging bets on, because I'm thinking about the likelihood of like people participating and watching stuff like this and content creation, like we were saying, right? I'd rather be a part of the algorithm than not being a part of it. So like, though I would have liked to have included the other movie with Johnny Knoxville that's coming out this weekend. There's a movie with Johnny Knoxville coming out this weekend that Dumbfounded, the battle rapper, is featuring in. And I really wanted to promote that, but too little spots. And I doubt that will have much like afterwards success. While what Jennifer did does seem like the type of shit that people will end up watching this weekend, more than anything. Like more than Don't Tell the Mom Baby Should Have Dead, Fallout, or the Greatest Hits. Fuck around and
I think
people go
Fallout's
crazy. Fallout will get,
different.
but like
Actually,
I fuck
Fallout's
around
like
and
fan
what
base
Jennifer did
is as
is like
strong
all
as the
the other
true crime.
people, exactly. So like all the other people who don't give a fuck about Fallout will be like true criming it out this weekend, watching what Jennifer did. In my opinion.
As long as social media
I'll be
lights
checking out
up,
that Greatest
it's
Hit.
over.
I'll be
Greatest
trying
Hits
to
does
check out
look
that
good.
Greatest Hit. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if Bonnie wants to watch that, it'll end up being like something we throw on to not break up the norm. But currently, we're watching True Crime season 4 and catching up over there, and it's quite lovely.
Work.
So,
all right, buddy, what you doing this week?
This week, I believe, is going to be a lot of grinding because it's supposed to rain, which should be good for Uber. And I need to make up for some of last week's shit. Plus, I found out I got 2 parking tickets for the same offense. I paid one of them. And then I got the second shit. And so I'm annoyed that I got to go make that. But now I have indoor parking, so I don't have to worry about that in the future. No more parking tickets like that. But, wow, just so you know, in Montreal, every 2 hours that passes, they can give you another ticket for the same shit. That's fucking crazy. Anyhow.
Why were you parked there for 2 hours?
It was overnight. I parked in a spot. I parked in a spot that was blocking a driveway, and I didn't realize I was blocking the driveway. So I got the ticket from like the ticket agent. Then I didn't move my car because I didn't realize I was breaking the law. So then when I walked out, I found out my car had got towed up the street, and I had to go deal with that shit. So I just thought it was the one offense, but I checked the mail today, and there was some fucking shit saying it was a second fucking ticket for the exact same offense, but at a different time. So I called the city, and the city's like, yeah, if it's more than 2 hours, you can get that multiple tickets. So no fun. Not excited about that. But whatever. Otherwise, I gotta start figuring
They
out.
didn't send you a towing fee?
That one I paid for. That's the one I paid for. Okay. It was double the price. This one is just a normal parking ticket price, but it's still like annoying. But otherwise, I'm gonna be promoting the new song. I'm gonna be like writing a bunch of shit, just trying to like move everything forward. And work. I don't think there's anything in particular going on this week that's special, so it'll probably be a lot of work. So that the following weeks, when different events start popping up, I'm a little bit ahead with the money, because that's how I'm trying to play it right now. And just grinding. And then you know what I am gonna start doing? Preparing for income taxes, because I gotta go do the fucking long process of going through every credit card fucking transaction and every fucking bank thingy, and then this time counting gas receipts. I have to go pull out every fucking gas receipt that I have.
That's right. You're self-employed now, so You got to do
all of that
thorough
shit.
taxes. Yep.
Because I don't want to pay those taxes since I already lost that money paying gas. I don't want to pay no tax on the gas money. Fuck that shit.
Right.
Or whatever.
Fuck that shit, Holden.
It's good though, because being I don't know.
I already know
it's
what
not
time it
good.
is.
I'm
I
actually
already know
looking
what time
forward
it
to
is.
taxes this year.
I've done both. So I already know. W10 and
yeah.
W4.
Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe something will pop up, or I'm forgetting. Actually, we're supposed to shoot more content for this single that I've decided is coming out. Now that we have a deadline, we're like, okay, we got to go to a bunch of flower shops and shoot a bunch of flower shit, and then they're gonna be posting about flowers for like the next fucking month. Just a lot of flower shit. Then we'll see what happens. Ideally, y'all spin the fucking song and buy some merch. We're getting merch made to support the single cover. I'm trying to really go the more like, how do we really make money on this, since people spitting a song isn't really going to be money. But we got magnets, at least. Magnets is coming. Anyway, that's what I'm up to, just that kind of shit. And you?
I'm not sure, man. I'll surprise everybody next week with my answer of what I did for the week.
Fair enough.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. You never know what kind of shenanigans I will get into.
Thank y'all for watching this week. We really appreciate you being here with us. It means a lot for those that participate and, comment, make it a live show, especially as we're on multiple platforms, and seeing comments coming in on multiple platforms is cool, even if sometimes we can be bad at following up in real time. And what I learned is that on YouTube, people can retract their comments, and then it just says comment retracted, and you're like, all right, I don't know why you did that, but shrug. Appreciate everyone out there.
Probably because I said something towards what they said in disagreement.
You did inflame some people in the past
you.
with your views on Diddy.
Yeah, that'll happen.
We're okay with that. The show's called Our Perspectives. We care about your perspectives, our perspectives, and it's a good idea.
Lindell, that greatest hits looks like it's on the menu for the weekend. Yep, it's on Hulu, right? So it's like
on Crave, I think, in Canada.
Right. So like, why not? I'll probably check that out. Movie, nice little romance movie. Maybe make it a romance movie weekend. Watch a bunch of romantic shit. Snuggle up with the wife.
And then, if y'all support what we do, make sure to hit us up on the Patreon at patreon.com/perspectives. This is where we have some bonus content there. If you come join us the last Monday of the month, you can be part of the movie night where we're watching the Hip Hop Basics Netflix series and just kind of learning and discussing it after. So if you want to be part of that discussion, you can come through and support us there, and then we'll get merch done and give you an opportunity to get some cool perspective shit. So just sign up at patreon.com/perspectives. It would mean the world. Otherwise, you can hit subscribe. You can go ahead and comment, like, dislike if you like, share it with your friends. That's super important. And we look forward to seeing you next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all again for watching, everyone out there. And live long and prosper, everyone.
Have a good night, you hear?